I'm James Williams Jr. and this is my final video, and it's part 2 of my Transformers questions and who created the Quintessons and things that I wanted to touch on, things that have been changed that are no longer canon. I don't know why they come up with these elaborate things to tell you that they've just retconned the shit out of everything, and if you're not down with it, you can suck balls. So I'm going to be sucking a lot of Cybertronian balls because I hear Optimus has a set of smooth criminals down there. Anyway, that being said, the video that I shot before this got way off topic. I had to find pictures of Cybertron and I found the Quintessons, and I went off on a little bit of a tangent on other stuff, which I apologize for because I took an hour out of your life that you can't get back. And again, I apologize for that. But I was touching on topics that I wanted to topic, but before I got distracted by the damn videos, because I was trying to find something and I just couldn't work it out. So that being said, you know, it's more or less, you know, the Quintessons, as you see in the cartoon, with the Autobots, the Quintessons and the Autobots and the Decepticons, they're all like billions of years old. You know what I mean? Billions and billions of years old. But the question is, who in the hell made them? Because the Quintessons have organic and non-organic parts. If that makes sense. Alright? Which makes sense to me. But I'm also Generation 1 forever. You know, that's just the way I see it, and I'm not going to force my views on you. I'm just going to let you see how I feel and where I'm coming from with that. Now, the thing with Transformers, because now they're taking everything and pretty much giving it the finger, it's that, you know, for me, it's like gutting a parent or gutting a child, and you shouldn't do that. The question was simple. How old are the Transformer species? How old are the Quintessons? Who made the Quintessons? If you watch the last movie, they had Quintessa, and apparently there's a Bumblebee movie, a standalone Bumblebee movie that's coming out. I have no idea what's going on with that. But, you know, I know I'm not in it. It would be great if I was, but I'm not. The thing with these, when they retcon and they change stuff around, they don't prepare the people like me who like things the way they were. For example, the retconning of everything in fucking Star Wars totally messed me up. Because if you're not a Star Wars fan, and if you are a Star Wars fan, then you know one or two things about Star Wars lore. And the fact that Luke has at least one or two children, and Han and Leia had 3. A set of twins and another child. Disney totally threw that shit out. So you get Kylo Ren. Alright, so if you want to read the old books and be canon in your own universe, that's fine, because that's the way I feel about Transformers. But I really want to know, for the writers of Transformers who brought in the Quintessons after the season where that led to the movie, and then the headmasters, who made the Quintessons? They weren't born, and some of them actually have organic parts. So were they organic and born, and then they made the 5-faced dome ones, and did they betray their creators? It's kind of hard to make something when you don't have fucking hands. Because the main Quintessons, they don't have hands. They have tentacles, because in one episode or in the movie, you see Grimlock dragging one of those damn things around by its tentacles. And you have to wonder, how the hell did they make the factories if they didn't have hands? See, there's a lot of clusterfucks in that. You know, I have hands. I use my bow and arrow. I use my lightsaber. I comb my hair. I have hands. I have feet. The Quintessons have none of that, but they have 5 faces on a big egg that's their body. It's not logical for me that they would be able to create Transformers without fucking hands. And then they have the Quintessons that, if you see another video, they have tentacles that are organic. And then they have one guy who has an organic set of feet and arms, but he only has like two arms on one side and then one other arm. So I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? And it looked creepy. But then when you see the movie, The Last Night, I think this shows it. So when you see this movie, The Last Night, at the end, Unicron is Earth. So you can see the clusterfuck that is. Now, I will tell you, Unicron started becoming Earth with Transformers Prime on the hub when the hub existed. And I didn't like that concept of Unicron being Earth. Alright, but that also came in one of the comic books, but it wasn't from Marvel. It was the guys that picked it up and changed everything around because they're the same people who redid G.I. Joe so that Snake Eyes could not talk because he got his throat slit. But in the original Marvel comics, Snake Eyes didn't get his throat slit. He took a vow of silence until he could uncover who the hell killed the Hard Master, which was Zartan, who was also a member of the Triple Li clan, or the Arashikage. I called it the Triple Li because of their tattoos. I never could say the Arashikage. It took the game Tenchu Self-Assassin, the first one, to teach me how to say the word Arashikage. So I'm thinking that if I have a child, just to piss off teachers, I will name her or him Arashikage. Anyway, moving on, because it has nothing to do with the video. The whole fact that the Quintessons aren't organic, but some are organic, has me in an upheaval on who in the hell made them. And I'm at a complete loss on that. Completely. So let me end this video because you just went through an hour and 5 minutes of a clusterfuck that got off track. So before I end the video, I want you guys to think about that because they're changing everything that I grew up with, history. They're changing it all. So hopefully they won't touch the Galaxy Rangers with Bionic 6 or any of that shit, or the Silverhawks, because they redid the Thundercats. And if you are a Thundercat fan, you should know that the creator of Thundercats' first show was Tiger Sharks in the comic strip. Again, this has nothing to do with the video, but it's gonna cycle back around. He did the Thundercats after he did the Tiger Sharks. And Thundercats' success, he decided they were going to do the Silverhawks. Silverhawks wasn't as successful as the Thundercats, which is why when the Thundercats came back and they changed everything and made Lion-O and Tiger brothers instead of the way it was, it kind of screwed everybody up. But it was basically a rehashing. The same thing that they've done with He-Man. I wish they would do that again with She-Ra because it was actually a pretty good cartoon. Yes, I'm a She-Ra fan. You don't like She-Ra, kiss my balls. Anyway, that being said, as I was coming back around, with Transformers, they've changed so much, and then they made Primus, and they made Unicron, and they made them both fighting for supremacy, and then Primus became a planet, and would later become Vector Sigma, or whatever the hell, and he made 13 Transformers to defend the planet. And you see those guys as the knights in the last Transformer movies, The Last Night. And then they started making the concept of every leader was a prime. And then you forget that all the Transformers are all of the same species. The Decepticons is just the name of a Warren fraction. And the Autobots are just the name of another Warren fraction, which aren't fighting, but they're actually called Cybertronians. So they changed that up, and they're all Cybertronians, but they still kept the same names of Autobots and Decepticons as their Warren fractions. There technically was two sides. If you're an Autobot, you're an Autobot. If you're a Decepticon, you're a Decepticon. There was no just regular ass Cybertronians running around. Which goes back to Quintessa and the Quintessons. Where the hell did Quintessa come from? So when they started making these movies, they changed everything up. I love the Transformers movie. I haven't seen one that I didn't like. There were certain parts in the movies that I didn't really like, but that's because I'm a product of that as a childhood, which they totally fracked up. You know, the movies, they changed stuff around. They killed Jazz. You know, Jazz was a survivor. He survived the actual original movie and survived a whole lot of shit. He did not become a headmaster. He did not become a power master, but he did survive all those stuff, and he was in the one with Prime when they brought him back to life, and Prime got coated with the special metal to keep him from getting the hate virus, and then he opened up the Matrix again and saved everybody before they ended it, and then brought it back with the headmasters and all the other stuff that started coming after, before Beast Wars and Beast Machines and all that stuff. Because you never know what happens to the end of the Headmaster Power Master saga, because they just stopped showing the show. So I have to look for the last episode of the Headmasters. And the Headmasters, Daniel was wounded, and RC offered up her head to save him, so that Daniel, Carly, and Spike could never leave that planet again, wherever it was. There were humanoid people there, but they were not humans. I think they had like a different skin tone, but they were all the same, except for Daniel, Spike, and Carly, who decided to stay because they weren't going to leave their 11-year-old child there, even though he was safe and protected in the head of RC. Springer also became a headmaster. Optimus became a power master, and then the other guys, Rodimus went back to being Hot Rod, but he was sent back to Earth, while the ones that I named previously stayed there. Rodimus did not become a headmaster. He did not become a power master. His ass went back to Earth, and I'm pretty sure Ultra Magnus and them went back with them, and Ultra Magnus led those guys back on Earth. And then for the headmasters, Prime and them did that, and then the Dinobot City and all them, they were also headmasters. I didn't figure out how the hell the Dinobot City, not the Dinobot City, the Autobot City, the one that was alive, became the headmaster, the one that used to fight the Tyrannosaurus all the time. So he became a headmaster, and I'm like, okay, so when did they all become headmasters? But it's all one big CF, and it all comes together. But everything has been changed now. So my Transformers are no longer my Transformers. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Epic number 2. If anyone knows who the hell made the Quintessons, please hit me back. Thank you for watching. Be seeing ya.